As I got older and my mother got older, she was like, oh, take the sewing machine. I'm not going to use it anymore. When she gave me the sewing machine, then it just took off. I just started sewing. That's what I love to do. I do it just for fun. Anytime I get an idea, if I'm able to do it, I put it in fabric. In 2012, I believe it was, my driver's license expired. My car broke down, so I'll just take the bus. It wasn't no big deal. And when I did finally get a chance to go to the DMV to renew my license, they wouldn't take my birth certificate. My birth certificate had a different last name on it. I never had an issue with it before. I had all these other forms of identification that showed up, social security card, immunization cards, like, high school diploma, all that kind of stuff. But they wouldn't take it. And I was like, okay, I'll try to figure out what I'm going to do. At this point, I was still working. And then in 2014, I got laid off. So I can't find a job now because I don't have valid ID.
Well, national statistics would say that probably 10 to 15% of people don't have an ID. And people think, well, all you have to do is go down to the local DMV office or local tax collector's office and get an ID, but that can be actually much more complicated.
If you don't have identification, there's pretty much nothing that you can legally do in our society. The biggest opportunity lost is employment, housing, proper health care, education. There's really not much that you can do legally. And so it forces people to potentially have to do things that aren't illegal because they're stuck in a corner.
Although my ID expired, I didn't expire. So I was close to being homeless at this point. It was frustrating, not being able to work. I can't do anything really, to prove who I am. I can tell you who I am, but they want you to prove it. And if you don't have valid ID, what do you do?
It just ends up looking like a catch-22. They say, you need your birth certificate to get an ID. And then you go home and maybe you go online if you're capable of doing that. Not all our clients are. And you find out that you can't get your birth certificate without an ID. So how do you solve that? You're stuck. Where do you go? A lot of our clients have obstacles that they would never be able to overcome by themselves.
It cost $400 just to file for a name change. And unemployed, I don't have $400 to give to a lawyer or whatever, so I had to find a way. And I got some assistance from a place that helps pay the rent and all that. And she casually mentioned to me, "Oh, you should go to IDignity."
I think we're lucky to have an organization like IDignity in this community, because I don't think I would even have been as aware of the problem had it not been for IDignity.
And inherently, identification must be difficult to obtain. There must be barriers in place in order to maintain the authenticity of those identification documents. So it has to be hard. The problem is a significant segment of our population can't get over those barriers on their own. And so there needs to be an organization that assists them to get over those barriers, because we can't really lower the barriers, or else there's really no need for identification.
So far in Orlando, we've been doing this for 8 years, and we've served almost 17,000 individual people.
We focus on embracing the clients, being people that are there solely to help them, not just to get their identification, but also to show that society cares about them. We're going to get them through this hurdle. We're going to empower them to better their own lives. And in that empowerment comes dignity.
IDignity was there and they helped me. And it was great because I don't know how else I was going to do this. The situation I was in, I didn't know how I was going to get out. And, it showed me that having hope helps. They're going to help you, So and I was hoping that I could get help, and I did. I'm Trina Anderson, and now I can prove it.